Good evening and welcome to Don't Tell Mama. As a courtesy to the performers and waitstaff, we ask that you please keep the aisles as clear as possible at all times during the show. At this time, we ask you to please silence all cellular devices, as there is no photography, videography, or texting allowed during the performance. Thank you and enjoy the show. And now please welcome to the stage, Woody Regan.
Why worry when skies are gray? Why should we complain? Let's laugh at the cloudy day. Let's sing in the rain. Songwriters say the storm quickly passes. That's their philosophy. They see the world through rose-colored glasses. Why shouldn't we? Just around the corner, there's a rainbow in the sky. So let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another piece of pie. Trouble's just a bubble, and the clouds will soon roll by. So let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another piece of pie. Let a smile be your umbrella, for it's just an April shower. Even John D. Rockefeller is looking for the silver lining. Mr. Herbert Hoover says that now's the time to buy. So let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another piece of pie. People are queer, they're always crowing, scrambling and rushing about. Why don't they stop someday, address themselves this way? Why are we here? Where are we going? It's time that we found out. We're not here to stay. We're on a short holiday. Life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't be so serious. Life's too mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so, but you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. So keep repeating, it's the berries. The strongest oak must fall. The sweet things in life to you are just loaned. So how can you lose what you've never owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries. So live and laugh at it all, and let's have another piece of pie. Well, hello everyone. Hello. And welcome to Don't Tell Mama, my home away from home. And I don't mean that as a figure of speech. Since Irv and Rob first opened this club in 1982, I have played piano or musical directed for dozens of people over the decades. But I've never done my own show. So here we are. Well, okay. All right, so this is not really a solo show because I am assisted by my old friend and great bass player, Ritt Henn. And soon, my guitarist partner, Phil Mougis, will join us. Now, over the years, I've collected many, many songs, some of which I've sung in public, but some I haven't, and so here we go. Well, this is one of those songs that you hear now and then. You don't know just where, you don't know just when. It's one of those songs that are over and then. It's one of those songs that start playing again. be my shining hour, calm and happy and bright. In my dreams your face will flower through the darkness of the night, like the lights of home before me, or an angel watching o'er me. This will be my shining hour till I'm with you again. Yes, it's one of those songs that you hear for a while, that comes into fashion, then goes out of style. It's one of those songs that you think you forgot, but it's one of those songs you cannot. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain and sing it, just sing it in the rain. Well, this is one of those songs that can make you recall a ride in the springtime, a walk in the fall, a day in the country, a night on the town, the sun coming up or the rain coming down, or else the evening you parted, the morning you met, the love of your life you can never forget. The reason is simple, the memory belongs to one of those wonderful songs. You and I have traveled far together. We've pursued the little star together. We are happy as we are together. We may never get to heaven, but it's heaven at least to try. You and I are going on together till the time we have is gone together. Watch the evening drawing on together, growing older, growing closer, making memories that light the sky, that only time can make, that only love can make, that only we can make, you and I. Well, it's one of those songs that's so easy to hear. You listen just once, you can play it by ear. It's hummed on verandas and strummed on guitars, but all you remember is la da da da. But later on, you'll recall it in some other year. The rain, but you may shed a tear. You'll find that one part of your lifetime belongs to one of those wonderful songs. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? All of those wonderful songs. that's what they say, easy. Anyone can whistle any old day, easy. It's all so simple. Relax, let go, let fly. So someone tell me, why can't I can dance a tango, I can read Greek, easy. I can slay a dragon any old week, easy. What's hard is simple, what's natural comes hard. Maybe you could show me how to let go, lower my guard, learn to be free. Maybe if you whistle, whistle for me. Thank you. Well, I was born in Dallas in 1943. And as soon as my mother was able to travel, she moved us out to LA so we could be there when my father, who was in the Navy in the South Pacific, whenever he was discharged to come back home. And I was told that he didn't see me for the first time until I was a year old. Anyway, a couple of years after that, we moved to San Diego. And that's my first memory, actually. I remember my mother taking me and a friend out for a walk on the boardwalk, and we sat down on a bench. And it was so hot that both my friend and I jumped up, wearing short pants, you know. And we couldn't sit there. So my mother spread her skirt out on either side, and so that we could sit on her skirt and be comfortable. Okay, some years after that, we moved back to Texas. Now this is to a small town on the Gulf Coast. And there I started and finished the first grade. But the next thing I knew, my father was called back into the Navy and we had to move back to California, this time to the Bay Area. And my mother and father decided that I would skip the second grade. Now, I didn't like the idea, but what did I know, really? So actually, that was a good instinct on my part. But actually, the schoolwork was no problem, but it was getting along with the kids who were a year older and a year bigger than me, getting along with them in recess on the playground was frequently confusing and sometimes a problem. Anyway, my father was next transferred to Kansas. You're asking a naval base in Kansas? Today there are 16 naval bases in Kansas. Anyway, the school, the first school that I attended was right behind the house where we were living. So when my father came home for lunch, he saw me playing softball with the girls. So when I came into the house, he wouldn't speak to me. Well, that upset me quite a bit, of course. Well, my mother tried to explain to me, well, he was annoyed because I was playing softball with the girls. But, Mama, I had no choice about that. That's where the teacher assigned me. That's where she put me to play. Anyway, okay, so we moved to a new neighborhood in the town in Kansas, and the first day of class, I had to decide whether I was going to play softball with mostly the girls, although there were some boys who did play softball with the girls, or was I going to play basketball? Basketball? What is that? I've never heard of it. But of course that's what I chose because of my father's attitude. So out on the basketball court, the first thing they did was toss me the ball. What did I know? I tossed the ball right back. So there I was with playing a game and I didn't know or had never heard of, with a bunch of kids who all knew what they were doing, and there was no
You don't get a coach to help teach you when you're in the 4th grade. It's not that easy being green, having to spend the day the color of the leaves, when I think it could be nicer being red or yellow or gold or something much more colorful like that. It's not easy being green. It seems you blend in with so many other ordinary things, and people tend to pass you over since you're not standing out like flashy sparkles on the water or stars in the sky. But green is the color of spring, and green can be cool and friendly like, and green can be big like an ocean, or important like a mountain, or tall like a tree. When green is all there is to be, it could make you wonder why. But why wonder, why wonder? I am green and it'll do fine. It's beautiful. And I think it's what I want to be. Okay, when my father was told he'd be transferred to Kansas, now I didn't find this out until years later. He had a choice. He could be transferred to Kansas or to Naples, Italy. He chose Kansas over Italy. Imagine. Well, anyway, right before we were about to leave the Bay Area, it was Christmas time, right before Christmas time, and my father decided to take me and my sister into the city for one last ride in a cable car, which was wonderful. I mean, the city, all the houses were full of Christmas trees, all decorated, and the cable car motorman, this was the most memorable thing, the cable car motorman, who was black. Now, I had never seen a black motorman on the streetcar in Dallas, I'll tell you. And anyway, he was singing a pop song that I recognized because I'd heard it on the radio so many times, and he was singing it in a beautiful baritone voice. And this, I think, was the first time I had ever heard a live performance of a pop song. See the pyramids along the Nile, watch the sunrise from a tropic isle. Just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me. See the marketplace in old Algiers, send me photographs and souvenirs. Just remember, when a dream appears, you belong to me. I'll be so alone without you. Maybe you'll be lonesome too, and blue. jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember till you're home again, you belong to me. Jungle when it's wet with rain. But remember, darling, till you're home again, you belong to me. You belong to me. Every night in my dreams, somehow it seems that I'm back where I belong. I'm just an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, back where I was born. Now the city lights and the city ways are driving me insane. I wanna be alone, I wanna be back home, back on the Texas plains. I wanna drink my coffee from an old tin can while the moon comes shining high. I wanna hear the call of the whippoorwill, I wanna hear the coyotes cry. I wanna feel my saddle horse between my legs, riding him out on the range, just to kick him in the side, let him show his step and pride, out on the Texas plains. Now, my mother and father used to sing this song at parties, usually after the second or third round of drinks. Anyway, but they didn't know the name of the song, they didn't know who recorded it, they didn't even know how they happened to learn it. So there's no way I could look it up for myself. So my sister and I tried to go over the lyrics, and we did remember one lyric: I want to drink my coffee from an old tin can. Okay, but you can't really find a song that you don't know the title of with just a lyric, can you? Well, the internet appeared. And it occurred to me I could search for that lyric on the internet, which I did, and it took me directly to this song. It's called The Texas Plains. It was recorded by Gene Autry in 1935. And I learned the yodel at the beginning from listening to his recording. So, I want to hear the thunder as she booms and rolls. I want to feel the rain in my face. Just 1,000 miles from the city lights, drawing a cowhand's way. I want to sleep at night beneath the stars above, with that old moon shining down. I want to cook my gravel with catfish goals, 50 miles from town. Ole, ole, oh, ole, 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 oh, ole, ole, ole. So, returning back to Texas, we settled in a new neighborhood right next to an old friend of mine, and his mother invited me over for lunch. I'd never been invited anywhere. Yeah. So, okay, all right, so after lunch, I realized why I had been invited. My friend wanted me to go with him down to try out for the minor league baseball team. And I didn't want to do it, but of course he talked me into it. So we went down and we were accepted along with every other boy who showed up that afternoon. Anyway. Okay, so we started practice and I never hit the ball once. I'm not kidding. Of the whole summer, I never hit it once. But fortunately, when we were not at bat, I was out at center field, so I was far enough away from home plate, where I didn't expect anybody to hit a fly out that I had to catch. Okay, so, all right, so now we're playing a game out of town. I'm up at bat. Okay, I'm thinking, well, I never hit the ball once in practice. I'm not going to hit it now. Boy, was I wrong. Not only did I hit it, but it was a great hit. I got to third base. Which I learned that was called hitting a triple. Unfortunately, I'd never been on a base ever, so I had no idea what to do next. I had no idea. So, okay, about that time, I started taking piano lessons with my grandmother as my teacher. And that ended up being a lot of fun. We would have the regular piano lesson, and then after we had done all that, all the hard work, she'd say, okay, let's play something together for fun. You play the melody, and I'll play the bass and chords. How am I supposed to do that without notes to read? Because you make it up. You play a tune that you know, and you make it up on the piano. You learn to play by ear. Now, how about, let's do Turkey in the Straw. You know that tune. Play a little bit of it. Start on a high E. I knew it, of course, that I could figure it out. So we tried it. I said, I'll try it out, and I did, and it worked. It was a lot of fun. So we ended up doing that at the end of every lesson. And sometimes it would be, my grandmother would teach me a new tune that I didn't know, so I'd have to listen to it and memorize it, and then figure out how to play it on the piano. Little did I know what good training this was going to be for my future musical work. Learning to play by ear. Okay, now, getting ready to go into junior high school. If you're going to play in the band, you have to tell them ahead of time what instrument you're going to play. Well, naturally, I was going to play the trumpet. That was my father's instrument. And I'd actually taken a few trumpet lessons when we were still living in Kansas. So I started out on the trumpet. Well, pretty soon the band director came over and said, Woody, would you be willing to try to learn to play the French horn? Well, okay, show me the French horn. So I did. I tried it out, and I got to be pretty good at it after all. Anyway, so let's see. Okay. Oh, and having been studying piano now for a good length enough time that I got to be where I could play pretty well. The chorus director asked me if I'd be willing to play as the accompanist for the chorus in school. And I said, well, I would like to, but there's no room in my schedule for me to add another class. And he said, well, here's what you do. Go to your PE teacher and ask him to let you out of PE so that you can be the accompanist for the chorus. Which I did, and he said, yes, Woody, you can do that. The only thing is you have to come back and promise me that you will come back at the end of the semester and take a test showing that you learned all the rules of all the games. Most of which I hadn't played, of course. So anyway, in the long run, Texas ended up doing a lot for me. Right in the middle of a 10-cent scenery, shuffled and stacked on a postcard rack, there's a cute little kid on a Shetland pony. He smiles at me, I can't smile back. Cactus Jack drinks coffee black, tells me it's my lucky day.
5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've come a long, long way. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've come a long, long way. Well, she left me cold on a winter's morning, cold it's been for the longest time. She said that Texas was where she was going. I've come looking, she's hard to find. Cactus Jack drinks coffee black, tells me it's my lucky day. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've come a long, long way. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've come a long, long way. Now I don't know just where I'm gonna find her. Maybe the soldier with the suitcase saw her. She just said she was going to Texas now for a little while. I'm looking for the girl with the light brown hair. She's hazel eyes, she's not too pretty, but a beautiful smile. She just said she was going to Texas for a little while. Now the cook in the back is getting mighty curious. He asks the waitress where I'm from. She just says, hell, I ain't never seen him. Probably just a California bum. Cactus Jack, he says, that's right. As I walk out into the night, 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've got a long, long ride. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've got a long, long ride. Outside, the sun is up, and the wind blows me like a paper cup down the highway. The scene was a small roadside cafe. The waitress was sweeping the floor. 2 truck drivers drinking their coffee. 2 oaky kids by the door. How much are them candies? They asked her. Well, how much have you got? She replied. Leave only a penny between us. Well, them's 2 for a penny. She lied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, and the smell of the rain on the wind. And just like a human, here comes that rainbow again. One truck driver called to the waitress after the kids went outside. Them candies ain't 2 for a penny. So, what's it to you? She replied. In the silence they finished their coffee, got up and nodded goodbye. She called, hey, you left too much money. So what's it to you? He replied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, and the smell of the rain on the wind.
comes that rainbow again. Here comes that rainbow again. At the University of Texas in Austin, at the College of Fine Arts as a music major, and pretty soon they discovered I was already a pretty decent accompanist, so they offered me a stipend of $120 a week to play for 12 hours of private lessons for the students. Now, that was decent money in the early 60s, 1961 actually. And so I played piano for everybody, all the singers, all the string players, the woodwind, and the brass players. I even played for conducting classes, dance classes, both ballet and modern. And I played for the opera workshop. And I also ended up playing for musicals for local theaters in Austin. And actually, one day in opera workshop, one of the teachers said to me, "Woody, you know something? I think you're ready for New York." I didn't know what that meant. But it did open my mind to something that I had never thought about, going to New York. So, anyway, one day my father took me to Dallas and introduced me to a friend of his who was a member of the local musicians union. And my father's friend asked me, "Woody, do you know a song called Tea for Two?" "Yes, sir, I know that song." "Well, could you play it in a swing version?" "Yes, sir, I can play it in a swing version." "Well, how about playing it in a Latin arrangement?" "Oh, I could do that, sir." So he decided to sponsor me for the musicians union. Well, I had to find a place to live, which of course, the YMCA was the obvious place. There in downtown Dallas, not a great place to live. This is toward the end of the 60s, so downtown Dallas sort of emptied out after 5 o'clock in those days. So there was not much to do except go to a movie or go out for dinner. And I had to get a job. So I got a job pretty quickly for a small private company that supplied light bulbs to their customers. I got a job as a clerk typist. You remember that job? Clerk typist? Anyway. Okay, one day I happened to be in my room at the Y, and I got a phone call from a college friend who said, "Woody, I've got a car and $100. You want to go to New York?" Did I want to go to New York? I think I did. So, I did. And the rest is history. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Think I can make one of those songs that's so easy to hear. You listen just once, you can play it by ear. It's hummed on verandas and strummed on guitars. But all you remember is la-di-da-da. But later on, you'll recall it in some other year. You may start to smile, or you may shed a tear. You'll find that one part of your lifetime belongs to one of those wonderful songs. Some people talk to each other while others talk to their cats. Some people talk to their mothers while others talk through their hats. Now, I communicate with nature, with a leaf, a plant, a tree. And I'm always nice to a flower, for they're perfectly lovely to me. I always say hello to a flower. Hello, hello, hello. I totally ignore the crashing bore who lives next door, for her conversation's silly, yet I'd never snub a lily. I always say bonjour to a lilac. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. I'm absolutely mute with a bully in a suit. And I never talk to fruit, heaven knows. But I always say hello to a rose. Yes, I always wave at a window box if that box is filled with hollyhocks. And I speak to the daisies, you know, I think they're swell. Tell your secrets to a daisy, they'll never tell. I always say hello to a snowball. Hello, hello, hello. Look sideways at a stranger and you put your life in danger. But one can kiss a sweet bouquet a blushing bride has tossed away. Flowers are the sweetest things I know, so when I see a flower I say hello. Hyacinth! I never shrink away from a violet. Oh no! I say hello. I may be off my rocker, but I never pet a cocker. But the dogwood in the park will never ever bite or bark. I'm always glad to see a gladiola. You know, I'm just mad about a glad. You can stand next to a bush and never feel one push. Flowers are refined and polite. You know, I've never seen a pansy fight. Yes, I've talked to bees and I've talked to birds, and they leave me quite at a loss for words. And I won't touch a cat while it sleeps on a pillow, but I positively trust a pussy willow. I always say hello to a flower. Hello, hello, hello. Get friendly with a mouse and it hangs around the house. But flowers never overstay. They stay a day, then fade away. Flowers are the sweetest things I know, so when I see a flower, I say hello. A year ago, last Thursday, I was strolling in the zoo when I met a man who thought he knew the lot. He was laying down the law about the habits of baboons and the number of quills a porcupine has got. So I asked him, what's that creature there? And he answered, well, that's an elk. And I might have gone on thinking that was true if the animal in question hadn't put that chap to shame and remarked, I ain't an elk, I'm a gnu. I'm a gnu. I'm a gnu. The nicest work of good nature in the zoo. I'm a gnu. How do you do? You really ought to know wahoo's wahoo. I'm a gnu. Spelled G-N-U. I'm not a camel or a kangaroo. And let me introduce, I'm neither man nor goose. Oh, gno, 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 I'm a gnu. I had taken furnished lodgings down at Rustington-on-Sea, whence I traveled on to Ashford-under-Lyme. At least I believe that's where I went. And the second night I stayed there, I was awakened from a dream, which I'll tell you all about some other time. Among the hunting trophies on the wall above my bed, stuffed and mounted, was a face I thought I knew. A bison? No, it wasn't a bison. An okapi, maybe. Could it be a hartebeest? Then I seemed to hear a voice. I'm a gnu. I'm a gnu. Another canoe. I wish I could gnash my teeth at you. I'm a gnu. How do you do? You really ought to know wahoo's wahoo. I'm a gnu. Spelled G-N-U. Call me bison or okapi and I'll sue. Nor am I in the least like that dreadful hartebeest. Oh, gno, 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 I'm a gnu. Gno, 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 I'm a gnu. No, gno, gno, I'm a gnu.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you. Heartbroken in Hoboken, that's how I signed my name. Since my girl went and left me for an old high school flame. Now I'd even met him once or twice. Now I'm writing inlanders for advice, 'cause it really isn't very nice to be heartbroken in Hoboken. Heartbroken in Hoboken, miserable, lonesome, and sad. Since she left me, this town has lost what little charm it once had. Please write words to mend this heart of mine. I know I'll make a brand new start in time, but right now I feel I'll fall apart, 'cause I'm heartbroken in Hoboken. I never dreamed I'd be losing her to someone from her past. I thought we'd last forever, but she let me down. She's made a fool of me in my own hometown. Heartbroken in Hoboken, I need another chance to prove our marriage was worth more than some old high school romance. And if the paper would only print my plea, maybe she'd read it and come back home to me. And then I would no longer be heartbroken in Hoboken. Heartbroken in Hoboken. Authors and poets in prose and in rhyme seem to agree that night is the time of lovers' meetings, romantic greetings. To my misfortune, I found this a lie, for it was night when you whispered goodbye, a night of madness that turned to sadness much too soon. Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chills, and color on the snowy linen land. Now I understand just what you said to me, how you suffered for your sanity. Well, you tried to set them free, they would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. There was a moon out in space, but a cloud drifted over its face. You kissed me and went on your way. The night we called it a day. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, violet colors, swirling crowds of violet haze, reflected Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue, morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free, they would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. I heard the song of the spheres like a minor lament in my ears. I hadn't the heart left to pray the night we called it a day. For they could not love you, but still your love was true. And when no hope was left in sight on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, that this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Soft through the dark, the hoot of an owl in the sky, sad though his song, no bluer was he than I. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you've met. The ragged men in ragged clothes, the silver thorn of bloody rose, like crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will. The moon went down, stars were gone, but the sun didn't rise with the dawn. There wasn't a thing left to say. The night we called it a day. The night we called it a day. Used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life to get a feel of life. From jazz and cocktails, the girls I knew had sad and sullen gray faces with distingué traces that used to be there. You could see where they'd been washed away by too many through the day. 12 o'clock tales. Then you came along with your siren song to tempt me to madness. I thought for a while that your poignant smile was tinged with the sadness of a great love for me. Ah, yes, I was wrong. Again, I was wrong. Life is lonely again, and only last year everything seemed so sure. Now life is awful again, a trough full of hearts would only be a bore. A week in Paris will ease the bite of it. All I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, while yet you are still
burning inside my brain. Romance is mush, stifling those who strive. I live a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely too.
Oh, yeah.
As I approach the prime of my life, I find I have the time of my life, learning to enjoy at my leisure all the simple pleasures, and so I happily concede. This is all I ask. This is all I need. Beautiful girls, walk a little slower when you walk. Walk by me. Lingering sunsets, stay a little longer with the lonely sea. Children everywhere. When you shoot at bad men, shoot at me. Take me to that strange enchanted land. Grown-ups seldom understand. Wandering rainbows leave a bit of color for my heart to own. Stars in the sky make my wish come true before the night has flown, and let the music play as long as there's a song to sing. And I will stay younger than spring. Wandering rainbows leave a bit of color for my heart to own. Stars in the sky make my wish come true before the night has flown, and let the music play as long as there's a song to sing. And I will stay younger than spring. And I will stay younger than spring.
to Allison Isbell on Lights and Sound. Thank you, Allison. Thank you so much. And to my special guest, Phil Mougis. And to the wonderful Ritt Henn. And to my wonderful director, Tanya Moberly. And most of all, thank you all for coming. And now, I would like to leave you with this. Every time we say goodbye, I die a little. Every time we say goodbye, I wonder why a little. Why the gods above me, who must be in the know, think so little of me, they allow you to go. When you're near, there's such an air of spring about it. I can hear a lark somewhere begin to sing about it. There's no love song finer, but how strange the change from major to minor. Every time we say goodbye, every single time we say goodbye. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just as you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that when you saw me go, I was singing